Guava. Guava, everybody. Good evening. Live Farmer 73 here. Mm. What's going on, everybody? I know it's late, but I had some news to share, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead. Hey, everything fresh and sassy, my sister. How are you doing, my beautiful sister? How are you? What's going on, everybody? I ain't got my glasses, so I'm gonna wing it. So if I'm looking crazy, hey, my Renaissance grandma, you know, I think I could do this better if I had my iPad out. Because I can't see nothing. And I don't know where my reading glasses are. And even if I had them, I don't want to wear the ones that I found. Because I look like a old Mother Hubbard in them. Let's try to find them. Oop, not that one. Let's try to figures. Get y'all on board here. It's good to see everybody in this mama jamma. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, I see people. I see people. I got you now. Okay. All right. What's going on? Let me go back up here and say what's up to everything. I gotta say everything fresh and sassy. I gotta start out with you. Thank you, my sister, for everything you do. For everything you do, my sister. Thank you. Sun Energy. Okay. Queendom Territory Hair Homesteads, Deb Elliott, Riri Star. Hey, Riri Real Star. I was about to say, how you doing, sister? Sheikh Bria, Adina Collins, my Renaissance Grandma, Holistic Homestead, Colleen, Mike's Chaotic Garden, G. Cole, Lorraine, Drew, K. Mack, Cynthia Murray, Shanae C., Signa, Val C., Nikki Dean, Talisha, a Grateful Gardener, Missy Hawk. What's going on? Missy Hawk 222. Jay Shun. Everything fresh and sassy. I am well, my brother. Thank you. I know you well, sister. I know you are well. I know it. You ain't even got to tell me nothing. Okay, let's see. Dave Busby in the house. Katina Brooks. What's going on? I'm starting from the bottom going up. They say no, thank you, and Lady Led. Lady Led just left, and the only reason I didn't go back, well, she didn't just leave. She left hours ago, but she came and spent the whole day out here with me, helping me get some stuff done. I can't leave yet because I got too much stuff going on. Hey, precious SoCal Gardener. Uh, let's break it down like this. You ever been working in a situation where everything is just all over the place? My whole life been all over the place. What's up, Black Beekeeper? And now, right when you think it's just cutting loose and you just out of control and you start feeling burned out, everything starts gelling together. Mm. So that's where I am right now. And I just wanted to let y'all know how it's going. I got people coming out to assess the pond Monday. They were supposed to be here today, but you know the holiday stuff. And I said, you know what? God is good. And I said, you know something? Thank you. I really am coming on here tonight so I can tell y'all thank you. Thank you for contributing to the pond fund. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for the support, and especially thank you to all the people that have supported me over the years. It's been a I've been doing this a long time. You know, compared to, hey, growing with Hudson, when it comes to social media, I've been doing this since the beginning. And I just got to say thank you to everybody. And you know something? I thought about something else, and I want to talk about that too, real quick. Sometimes, sometimes I come off a little rough around the edges, and I know I do. And I thought about why. I was talking to my wife today about this. I was talking to Lady Led today, and I told her I really do need to chill. I know some people be like, "You sure is mean, Led. You didn't used to be mean." Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It ain't that I'm mean. It's just this world is so sugar coated that I can't pretend anymore. I can't keep sugarcoating, you know, how I feel about certain situations. And one of those is what I always call my truth. I keep your truth to yourself. And the reason why I do that is if I go by, if I go by everybody's my truth, nobody will be able to talk anymore because you will have to appease everybody's every whim, feeling, and emotion of how they feel that day at that moment. And anything will set anybody off these days. And it's true. These days, anything will set people off. If you didn't speak to them right, or you didn't address them right, or you didn't speak to them in their pronouns, or it's just, here's the thing. And I'm assessing my own problem. I'm analyzing myself, okay? Part of why I have been off the chain. And I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm not pretending that I ain't been kind of clocking out because I have. I'm gonna tell you why. And if you're wondering if you're wondering what tonight's video is, it's gonna be a little bit of everything. It's gonna be a whole stew pot of gumbo of okay. Now here's the deal. This is why I kind of been clocking out a lot lately. I really have faith and trust. I ain't gonna say, full faith and trust, but I'm I'm proud to be an American. I am proud to be not just I am proud to be an American. That's what I can say. And I've been so proud to be an American for so long, and then to turn around and realize that everything you've been seeing and knowing and everything has just been a big old juicy lie. I told my wife today, this is how I feel. I feel like And it's a lot of people out here like this. So I'm not getting on you particularly, okay? I'm just talking. I feel like I just found out that my father isn't my father. And my mama been lying to me my whole life, telling me that this man is my father, and we do not even share the same DNA. And she says that she's been lying to me to protect me from the truth because my real father ain't worth two nickels. Hey, Bougie Prepper, I know this sounds crazy, right? This is how I feel about America. I feel like I just found out this man ain't my daddy, and my real daddy is a drunk, drug addict, bum in the streets. That's America. And my mama, Lady Liberty, been lying to me my whole life trying to protect my emotions, but she don't realize I could have, if you would have just told me in the beginning, I would be over it by now. So I'm not going to get into politics. Remember, this is a whole gumbo show, okay? I'm just telling you how I'm feeling right now. And then we're going to move on. I was telling my wife that's how I feel. And that's been bugging me to know how many people I've only read and grew up and read about how many people hate me because of my melanin. I've read stories, but now to literally live in a day and age that I've only read about, heard about from my elders, to actually live while there's so much abundant outwardly hate and racism. I don't I don't I feel betrayed. I feel betrayed. I feel so betrayed that I'm actually, I know this sounds crazy. Sometimes I catch myself rooting for the opposition. I ain't gonna call them enemies. Sometimes I find myself rooting for the opposition to win over us. Ain't that crazy? And I think the one of the things, and I'm going to address that too. One of the reasons why I do come off a little stern. Nah, I ain't gonna sugarcoat that. Sometimes I come off harsh, and I know why. Cause never in a million years I thought this many people, not in this country where it's so rich, and we are one of the richest countries in the world. I don't care what nobody say, we are. I never thought we as a nation were this uninformed. I never knew so many of us still had this much hate in our hearts. Well, living the dream, we are in debt. That the the debt system works. You know what? American debt works just like your debt and my debt. So when we hear trillions and trillions of dollars in debt and stuff, it's no different from saying you owe a mortgage of 400,000, you owe 30,000 in credit card bills. Like that stuff is manageable. But when we hear the word trillions, we kind of, we don't even understand what trillion mean. So we throw things that we don't quite understand because we're rich in other things besides finances. That's why we can still hold people feet to the fire. So I'm not going to get into that, but we just don't see what I'm saying. We just don't think about We don't know how this system works, and nor do we ever even want to learn how it works. And right there is where we screw up. But I don't want to get on that part of it. My part is, man, it hurts inside to know, damn, so many people hate each other every day for nothing. You know why people hate each other mostly? Because they're ignorant. And when I tell people they're ignorant and they stupid, they get mad at me. The only reason to hate me is because you're ignorant. That's the only reason. You can't. It's so bad where people are making up lies to make themselves hate somebody else. Like if somebody told you the truth, that's what pisses me off. Is somebody literally just gave you facts and somebody just gave you proof. Somebody just gave you video. Somebody just gave you footage. Or you were standing right there and saw the whole thing, right? But you know what happens? And this is one of my pet peeves. You just won't admit when you're wrong. It's so many people out here that will not admit when they are wrong, to the point their pride, like they pride gonna get hurt if they say, my bad, right? I don't even understand that. What's wrong with saying, oh, I screwed that up, my bad? I don't even understand it. But people will stand in the middle of a lie like a rain puddle during a storm and splash around in this lie with their little rain boots on. And I just don't understand it and what it does to me. And I'm human just like everybody else. So what it ends up doing to me is when I don't understand stuff, sometimes I have a tendency to get a little mad. I'm not gonna even pretend. I'm not gonna soft punch that. When I don't understand something, I get kind of annoyed. When I don't understand a math problem, I get annoyed. But when I don't understand a human being making these kind of choices for the reasons they make, I try to make myself understand them. And that makes me mad because I'm like, you're not telling me why you're so hateful. And they'll just come up with a lie over and over. But again, that's neither here nor there. I'm not making an excuse for my recent outbursts. I'm just telling you how I think. That's all. I'm not apologizing for my outburst mostly. I'm just telling you how I think. I didn't think that this world was so behind. And when I thought this country had moved so much farther into the future away from hate. I really did. And that's why I feel so bad. I really thought in the 80s and 90s, I really thought we was really working towards, especially after 9/11. I really thought we were working towards becoming a an actual nation of brothers and sisters. I actually did. I know that sounds, now I sound ignorant, but I had hope in thinking that we had made a headway versus the 70s, the 60s, and the 50s. I really truly thought that we were putting an end and a stop to hatred, racism, and bigotry. I really did. But you know what? I'm going to give this president, I'm going to give him one big up. So listen close. You can learn from your friends, you can learn from your family, and sometimes you can even learn from your enemy. And I mean this from my heart. This president that's in office right now, he actually did one good thing. One that I know. Anybody guess what that is? Anybody? Guava. I'm going to tell you one thing that this president has done. One great thing that this president in office right now has done. You are correct, black beekeeper. He has ripped the curtains right out of the ceiling and exposed everybody's truest, darkest, deepest hatred, secrets. They've been hating each other for generations. And here I am walking through life thinking that's a thing of the past, you know? The only good thing that this president has done is he let you see. He actually did take the blinders off of people like me and be like, wow, never in a million years would I have thought you hate me too, but I love you. Wow, never knew. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to move on off of that. I was a nurse in an ER years ago. And it was this patient that was hopped up on drugs, whatever he was on. And he grabbed one of the nurses by the throat and he choked her till she damn near turned purple. And he was so high on drugs, all the other female nurses was jumping on his back, trying to choke him, hitting him, cranking him, everything, right? Nobody could loosen this drug induced lunatic's grip off of this one woman's neck. I'm not going to tell you her name because you can find her easy. I heard them scream my name. I was in with another patient. I was in a whole nother room. And everybody was screaming my name. By the time security would have gotten there, that's why they didn't really work on calling security. By the time security would have got there, the girl would have passed away. Screamed my name, and I dropped everything I was doing and ran out of my patient's room and went and saw that he is choking her purple. I was the only one strong enough to stop that man from... I'm trying to think of the right word, YouTube. I was the only one strong enough to keep that man from erasing this woman from history. By the time security got there, I had the man in restraints. He was subdued. He was medicated, and he was back in his bed, and reports were being filed. I'm not saying security was lacking. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if you ever work in a hospital, the actual security, it's just a couple of dudes or a couple of ladies, and they're posted somewhere on this gigantic campus. They don't just got police just walking around, security just walking around, like the mall cops. No. So, long story short, I was able to save that woman's life, literally, and I know for a fact, I'm not patting myself on the back, I just know what facts is. Facts is she would not be here with us today to be able to do anything if I wasn't there that night. Because all of these women, I'm not saying they weren't strong, I'm not saying they weren't capable. I'm saying this man was so hyped up on drugs, they could not pry his hands off of her. No matter what they was doing, couldn't do it. Okay? It was just a mess. And then I listen, when I tell you I love this woman, I love her like a sister because if you've ever worked in the medical field, especially nurses and doctors, paramedics, um, anybody in the medical field, okay? One thing that you know when you work in the medical field, you are not able to work with these people if you truly don't love them. You don't gotta like them, you don't gotta fully get along with them, but you gotta love them. It's like a family. You don't gotta like your brother, but you love him, and you the only one that can call him certain names, right? Okay. Well, I love this girl like a sister because working in that nurse's station, that's what you become. You become more than family. Matter of fact, sometimes you become so close working in a nurse's station that whether you want to or not, y'all gonna see each other naked. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm not going off into no gross stuff. I'm serious. That's how close it is because you're always getting pooped on, you're always getting spit on, you're always getting puked on, and you know, you don't have time to keep running to the locker room or the bathroom. You get tired and you've been here for 16 hours. After a while, you just start stripping in front of people and nobody cares. So you become one with this family of people. Um, that's how close you become. So this woman, when she posted, after she knew how much this man hates everybody, she posted how much she loved him and she respect his ideas and decisions. I was hurt because I was like, wow. He just said he's going to deport a bunch of brown people, as many as he can possibly get his hands on. And I'm going to say 1/3 of our staff was Hispanic. I was like, how could you say that? When part of our medical family was Hispanic. How could you say? So I thought it was just me and I didn't comment on it. And a lot of people said, I didn't know you was like that. Come to find out, she had finally lost a lot of weight and messed around and got married. And that's who the dude, he liked to wear the rebel flag on his hat. So, anyway, that's why I've been mad. Not, I've been easy to set off because the world is showing me something that I didn't think it was. You understand? I feel, okay, I feel as surprised as some of y'all that mess around out in the club in Atlanta somewhere, and you buy this lady a drink, you buy her a couple of drinks, you done dance with her and everything. She invites you up to the room. And you find out her name is not Raekwon. Her name is Raymond. Do you understand? So that's how surprised, and you like, how, what? No, what? No, come on. I don't believe you. Are you playing? Is there some cameras in here? Your name is Raekwon, right? No, my name is Raymond. No, this is a joke. Who put you up to this? And until they roll out the red carpet on you, and they carpet is longer than yours and more plush, you like, what? So I'm that surprised. Do you understand? Yeah, they mess around and rolled out that red carpet on you, bloop, and that mug hit the table like, what you gonna do with that? I'm that surprised that everything about this world, I guess I was just wrong. And I hate to say I was wrong, but I was wrong. And it's people out there proving to me every day that I have been wrong, bamboozled, lied to, led astray most of my life, because I really thought we was behind. I thought this hatred and racism and bigotry, I thought that was behind us to a certain degree. But I was wrong. Matter of fact, it's been an infection. It had a scab over it all those years, and you never knew that underneath that scab you thought America was healing, but it was really infection going on under there, and it was pus, and it was just decay, and you didn't know. You saw America's scab, and you saw it getting a little rosy red around the scab, and you felt it, it was kind of warm, but you thought it was doing good. You thought America was doing, it's going to heal up. It looked like it's doing okay. The scab is still on. No pus is coming out. But what you didn't know, the infection wasn't on the top. The infection had went down to the bone. So what you saw up here on the top was the scab and a little bit of redness, but you didn't know it was eating you away down here in your bone. That's America. And you had to finally just peel that scab off and let out all of that infection. And that's when you knew. How long has this been festering? It's been festering so long, you might have to have this amputated. That's America. Like, we can't cut this out. You may have to lose that appendage, the whole thing. Because if you would have came to us sooner, we could have helped you. That's America to me now. What I thought was healing over, it done scabbed over and we was healing. No, not at all. And I asked Uncle Sam, I said, well, I never felt no pain. It was never hurting. He said, yeah, that's because back in the 60s, you had bypassed that pain. And now it had eaten away at itself so far that you didn't feel anything. You didn't feel anything else. This infection was numbing your nerves. It back in the 60s, it burned your nerves out. So you weren't aware how deep and how serious this infection was. That's America. And me just finding out that you know, America was this sick for so long that I had no idea. And now we're gonna have to lose something we're gonna have to lose an appendage just to survive. And that's what I feel like. We're gonna have to lose a lot just to survive. And that's America to me. We're gonna have to cut a lot of things off just to survive, just to keep our core together. So if you're wondering, have I gotten a little bit testy lately? No pun intended, talking about the lady in the, but no, If you wondering, have I gotten a little testy lately? Yes, yeah. And that's one part of the irritation. I'm going to talk about one more other part of my irritation, and then we're going to talk about the success stories. The other part of my irritations are, unfortunately, social media. Social media. And it's funny because I'm part of it, but I'm not going to lie about it just because I'm part of it. Social media on all platforms. I'm going to say this with my chest. Social media is the most toxic place you can go on the planet Earth. Social media is more toxic than going to a drug filled neighborhood. I don't know if you've ever been to a place like under a viaduct or down in some alleyway, some shaft where everybody is homeless and everybody is drugged up and everybody is walking around zombified, people laying in the streets. You don't know if nobody dead or alive, and frankly, nobody even cares. They just want to make it past all of these bodies that they walk past to and from work or to and from the bus stop. I don't know if you've ever witnessed anything like that. I grew up in it, so I know. You praying to God that one of these bodies don't reach out and grab your leg, or you can see the drug paraphernalia that they've used to make them be in this stupor. Mm. I just had a couple of thoughts. Let me see. That's social media. Social media, whether you're getting on it to be positive or negative, you all, and this is for my content creators. If I'm wrong and your opinion is different than mine, because this right now I'm only speaking my opinion. I'm not speaking facts because there is no facts. It's all how you perceive it. How I feel is social media is the most toxic place you can go to. It's more toxic than an old Western saloon while everybody in there gambling and hookers and stuff and card playing and liquor. It is toxic and it changes you. It has changed me. I'm not gonna pretend. Social media has even changed me. And I'm gonna tell you how social media has changed me. When I was younger, get this gonna get you. When I was younger, I did not cuss at all. Zero. Zip. I don't care what was in style. I don't care what the latest rap song was. NWA. When I was younger, I did not curse. I didn't cuss. I didn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Just wouldn't do it. It ain't that I had some kind of belief system. I just thought it was gross. I just. And then I got my very first factory job. And when I got my very first factory job, I had only worked like fast food and stuff like that when I was younger. But when I first got my real first big factory, high paying job, everybody in here was just gross. Everything they said was gross. Everything they did was gross. Everybody was a handful of bitches and a pocket full of motherfuckers. You couldn't say, "Are you going to lunch?" Or what time are you going to lunch? You know what they would do? Hey, motherfucker, time your punk ass going to lunch. It was like, why did you have to throw three or four or five different cuss words to ask this brother when he going to lunch, or and can you borrow $5 so you can eat? So I used to see that a lot, like, what the hell is going on, right? I didn't say that, but listen to me close. What I realized was they put me in a supervision, a supervisor position temporarily for 2 weeks. My supervisor had went on vacation and they put me in charge. So I'm running the forklift and I'm running the crew. I ain't gonna tell you what job I was working on, but and I was new at this. So, I'm already feeling intimidated and I'm working. Now I'm in charge of telling the people I used to work side by side with, I'm telling them what to do. So I'm new at this. I'm new at working at the factory. So I'm kind of, I ain't gonna say I'm soft spoken because I wasn't, but I could get my point across without calling everybody a bunch of names, right? So every time I asked somebody to do something or complete a task, they looked at me and laughed. Now, these people I work with, so it ain't like they don't know me and I'm some new booty. No, they would look at me and laugh like, man, shut your punk ass up, right? Now, here's the problem with that. Now that I'm in a supervisor's position, I have to report to the higher ups. I have to answer to the department heads. So if I don't get our quota out on my team, I'm in trouble. So my boss come out, asks me how's everything going, is everything good? I'm like, yes sir, yes sir. And he asked me, well, why ain't this done? Why ain't that done? Why ain't this done? So I'm getting chewed out. And he was like, if you can't do the job, I'll get somebody tomorrow that can. So by the end of the day, you let me know if you can get this stuff accomplished. Because if you can't, you gotta go. That made me feel this big. So I go over nicely and I talk to my team like, hey, listen, lunch, it was like lunchtime, whatever, break time. And I'm like, hey, listen, can we pick up the pace, man? Look, man, old boy just come down here telling me crazy stuff, man. We all about to get in trouble. They said, no, motherfucker, you gonna get in trouble. Shit, don't put that on us. So I'm trying to ask my team, can we work together so we can knock this quota out and then we can even go home early? They don't hear me though. So it's a bunch of laughing and a bunch of chuckling and a bunch of cursing going on. So here's what happened. I get so mad because I don't understand why they so stupid. These men older than me. I had to call them a pocket full of bitches and a handful of motherfuckers for them to, they looked at me like this. Man, I didn't know you had that in you. Man, just shut the hell up and get to work. You want to know what was sad for me that day? Number one, they woke up a sleepy giant in me. Number two, it saddened me, and I remember going home to my wife to tell her I had to talk to these men this way. Grown ass men, older than me, I had to talk to them like little hood rats just for them to complete a task. You want to know what's even sadder than that? After I start cussing everybody out on the crew, they gave me mad respect. They gave me more respect for cursing them out than they gave me for being respectable to them. Because I looked up to these men. They've been there way longer than I have. And I respected them and I honored them. I treated them that way. And I came at them as like elders because I'm new to this place. They you're nothing when you come to them like that. Now, once you start cussing at them and talking about their mamas and playing the dozen with them, mad respect. You, oh man, you got it, man. Look here, man. I don't care if old boy don't never come back. You could be the supervisor. And I just, you would think I would feel good, but man, it disheartened me and it let me see. And I was young too. I was probably, think I was like 20, 21. And I was thinking to myself, what kind of stupid shit is this? And then, by then I was cussing. Where they would respect me for disrespecting them. I don't understand any of this. And I feel like that's where we are now. That's social media. Social media is so toxic that the only thing that will get any views, any thumbs ups, any likes, if somebody is on here cutting up, joking, being ignorant, stupid. Even myself, I'm not discounting myself. That's the only thing that this algorithm pushes. They do not, this algorithm on all social media platforms do not push intelligence, smarts, education. They don't push that. You got to call somebody a bunch of names and you got to be yelling. Somebody told me one day, stop yelling so much. You know what? Got to. Because when I talk like this, nobody watches. Unless it's some of them people that like to hear sounds, people go, stuff like that. What is that called? ASMR? I'm not one of them channels, so I'm out of that algorithm. Now, if I talk like this all the time and with them crazy sounds that people do, then if I was in that algorithm, I would be great. I don't like yelling. I really don't. I'm not a yeller. But social media, is toxic when it's making younger folks want to take their own existence. Social media is toxic when all you have to do is say something on social media and it can make somebody else want to brush their teeth with a Glock, if you understand what I'm saying. That's social media. And then the funny part is it's nobody's fault. Nobody, you can't blame anybody. And the worst part is social media won't stop it because they love it. They eat that up. Like for instance, I'm gonna tell you one. It's a bunch of these new things now, reaction channels or whatever. How many people ever heard of the reaction channels? They got them in all different genres and groups and types. Or you ever see this? The reaction channels? That to me is some of the sickest, laziest shit I've ever seen in my life. Your job, you've dedicated yourself to pick out a person or group of people to talk about each and every day and everything they move, how they brush their teeth, how they wipe their butt, how they take care of their kids, how they get dressed, what they wearing. Let me tell you something, that's sick to me. That is sick. And see, here's the thing. Having a reaction channel is one thing, but these aren't reaction channels anymore. To me, they're cesspools of defamation. If some of these so-called reaction channels actually knew how much trouble they were really in, they would stop. They listen, they would stop. Because people like me, I will sue you. And I'm not playing. I've done it before. And I have no problem. Listen to me. And this again, this is part of me where people think I'm gonna be heartless, but it's the truth. I have no problem taking every cent you got. I have no problem destroying your entire life. I have no problem that you have to sell your house and pay me money so you can just stop saying. I have no problem with that at all. I have zero remorse. I have zero feelings about where you're going to live after that's over with. I will not lose a wink of sleep trying to figure out where you're going to lay your head at night because the courts just made you sell your home. I do not care. You didn't care when you were spreading rumors, lies, and defaming my name and my likeness just to make a couple of YouTube dollars. I could care less where you or your family lay their head at night. And that's the truth for me. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. It ain't that I'm being cruel. I'm just letting you get a taste of how I felt. And I mean it. So, the thing about these reaction channels, the platforms love it. So, if I don't go out of my way and sue somebody, YouTube will let that stuff just fly. They'll tell you how many things and rules and regulations. Let one girl show a nipple. One nipple pop out. Boing. Gone. What is called demonetized or take the whole channel. One nipple done popped out. Blam. One nipple. That nipple wasn't hurting nobody. That nipple wasn't calling people names. That nipple wasn't lying on folks. That nipple wasn't talking about people. That nipple was not showing every single one of your videos and breaking it down to the very last compound. That nipple ain't poke nobody eye out. That nipple ain't have nothing bad to say about nobody. It was minding its own business. Show one nipple, demonetized, take your channel, boom, you gone. But you can let people sit back and talk about folks all up and down the road every day and night. And you mean I have to do the footwork to sue people? If I do, I have done it, and I will strike again. I have no problem with it, and I don't care about where you or your family gonna lay their head at night. After you have to pay me whatever you end up paying me, I don't care about whatever you have to. I don't care. So, like, where am I gonna live? And after Lowe's sell one of them refrigerators, they keep the boxes in the back of that building. Now that's me giving you some kind of help. They keep them Frigidaire boxes, the Maytag boxes for a couple washers and dryers set in the back of the building. Them hold up to the rain and the weather for at least 2 months till you can get another one. That's how much I care. Cut a window lock that mug and glue some plastic up to it, and I don't care. But that's how toxic social media has become. So for me to see how desperate and how low people will go for a couple of dollars, you would defame people just for a couple of punk ass dollars? You dishonor your own self by doing that? Wow. Wow. Yeah, cardboard and duct tapes, Sandra. Cardboard and duct tape. And I might sue you for the duct tape. So, you know, that's why I kind of how can I forget the bots? How can I forget the trolls and the bots? See, I was just talking about, oh my God, the trolls and the bots. I come from early YouTube where none of this existed. There were no trolls and there were no bots. There was no AI. And you know what I used to enjoy doing in the early days of YouTube? Talking to actual human beings. Everybody had a thumbnail, a face. You could click on anybody's thumbnail and go to their channel and see what they were doing, see their work. You can subscribe to them because you want to learn what they're doing. They subscribe to you because they want to learn what you're doing. And it wasn't no competition back and forth. It wasn't none of that. And then they added in the bots and the AI and the trolls, which added to the fuel of the fire of the competition. The competition sparked more views and sparked more thumbs ups, which feeds the algorithm. The algorithm pays the platform more. So you're caught in between trying to figure out who's real, who's fake, who really truly don't like you, who really truly supports you, and who don't. And every time you click on somebody's page, it's nobody there. It's weird. It's weird. So there is a hint of paranoia there because you're like, man, who are you? What are you? Are you even real? Are you in another country being paid to do what you're doing on my channel? What? How is this benefiting you? So anyway, so if everybody been wondering, old leg kind of losing it, ain't he? I ain't gonna say I'm losing it. I'm just waking up. I'm hurt that everything. Okay, let me sum this whole video up with this. I'm hurt that everything is so fake. People, social media. I'm hurt that we took a tool that was so great and turned it into something just so toxic. So toxic. It's almost like firearms. And this is the truth. Firearms do not, a firearm is an inanimate object. It cannot do anything without a human being pulling the trigger. That's social media. Do you understand me? You can either use this tool for good or you can use it for evil. Social media, if they take guns away from people, they should take social media away from people too. Because social media truly does do just as much harm as firearms, if not more so. True, it's the truth. They don't report on how many people take their lives because of social media. Bullying, they don't care about bullying or nothing. These children in school, they don't care about that. So these kids and grown-ups and adults, all these people is taking their lives because of something that happened on social media. Ridiculed or take one of the clips of their video that might have had a booger in their nose or something, and now everybody around the world, they done made a song about the booger in the nose. And you are that booger in the person with the booger in their nose. They done made a whole remix and scratched and everything and made a whole #1 hit single. It's being streaming on some of these music apps, uh, iTunes, of you with the booger in your nose and ruin somebody's life. It's funny to millions of people, but you never think about the person that this, how is this going to affect that person? Money is not going to solve a lifelong bout with humiliation. Money comes and goes, but every time somebody look up and say, hey, you the booger lady. Yeah, you know the song. I got a booger in my nose. A booger in my nose. There it goes. Oh no, got a booger in my nose. That. Oh, you the booger lady. Can I get an autograph? Can I get a picture with you? I got a picture with the booger lady. Even though the booger lady probably made $1 million on that number one hit, she been on the Tonight Show. You know, she been with Jimmy Fallon, and she been on all these talk shows. She got a little spot on one of these new TV sitcoms, but she will always be the booger lady. So while she's counting those millions of dollars in her bank account, at night she cries herself to sleep like, damn, I finally made it to Hollywood. I've been rubbing elbows with all the elites and I got more money than I can spend, but I'm the booger lady. That's a hard pill to swallow. That's social media. And and now that's where we are. And it's okay, and they allow things like that and it's okay. It's normal. They even got to the point they don't even mind if you do that to kids. You know, like the little girl with the waffles. Why can't I just stop thinking about waffles? See that song? That's a hit. And that little girl gotta live. Somebody did that to a child. It's nothing off limits anymore. People is even putting their kids and humiliating their kids just to give views. No, come here. I'm gonna whoop your ass right here on live stream. I'm gonna whoop your get my belt. I'm gonna beat you right here on live stream. For what? You gonna whoop your kid's ass for views? Like, what is this? The Roman Coliseum? I'ma prove to you. I'ma prove a point to everybody out there. That's man, that kid. When you go doing stuff like that, you will never get sleep at night because that kid forever will be thinking about how to make you go to sleep for good every day. You like, son, how you doing today? Sure do love you. Yeah, I'm doing just fine, Dad. I'm doing just fine. You humiliated this boy on social media for the rest of his life. All he'll dream about is how to delete you from this earth. Because the whole world won't let him live down getting his ass whooped on social media. You literally, to me, I'm not saying these certain children shouldn't be punished or whatever, but what I'm saying is having a town hall meeting of an ass whipping is some bullshit. You understand? It reminds me of, you gather around the town square and you keep on dunking this woman till she scream out she's a witch. Aren't you a witch? No. Dunk her. Blah. She's a witch. Every 5 seconds. Until she finally like, okay, I'm a witch. Just don't dunk me no more. We knew it. Dunk her for good. That's what you're doing to this kid. Or remember back in the day with these town hall, you gonna hang everybody in the town, the center of the town. And then you ring the bell for everybody can come watch the good hanging. That's what you did. It's just a new form of it. It's social media. You just ridicule somebody, and you know how they used to leave people hanging, so you will know next time. Think about this. They used to hang people and leave them hanging for weeks until the meat fall off the bone. So they did that, so they say that'll teach everybody else that's going to do this not to do this. Social media doesn't go away. So that's like somebody being hanged until the meat fall off the bones as a example. You shouldn't do what this kid did. That is no different. So that's my point. Everything has become so toxic. Social media, real life, that it's hard to swallow. Now I'm a full grown adult and I got all my damn senses. And if it's hard to navigate through this world knowing everybody hate each other and everything is so toxic, I can't imagine being a kid growing up in this bullshit. So that's disheartening to me because I'm a father, and my kids I know are going to have a hard time trying to navigate through this new world with everybody so full of hate and envy and evil and wickedness. And I got kids, so my days I know are numbered, but my kids got to go through this, and I think about that every day. And I'm not going to always be here to help them struggle through it. One day the father gonna call me, pull my card, and I'm gonna be gone, and my kids gotta figure this out on their own, and I hate that for them. Now, for the people, that was for the people that's wondering, why have I been tripping? I have been tripping. I have never in my life thought that we would stoop so low to do what we have done in the last 3 months. I have never. You couldn't have paid me to believe any of this. You couldn't have paid me to believe any of this future was going to happen. You couldn't have paid me to make me believe that this many people's hearts was filled with this much hatred for one another. You couldn't have paid me to make me believe that. But here we are, and it's just the truth. People hate each other, and they don't even have excuses anymore. They just hate one another. So that's I just wanted to explain myself of, yes, I have been tripping. I have been on a raging rant. I have been. I have zero tolerance for bullshittery. I have zero tolerance. Zero. Because this world is too much technology and too many things and too many books and things you can read that you don't have to open your mouth every 5 seconds and let people know that you ain't with the crew. Now, I'm gonna make this 90 minutes because we almost at this hour point. I just wanted to, I'm not making an excuse for my actions. I'm telling you what are some of the causes of my actions, which is I just feel so sorry for this world. I feel so sorry. I pity the children coming in this world. I pity the children that's living through it, the teenagers and the young adults. I pity them because they don't know anything else but violence now. That's all. Listen to this. They don't know nothing but violence because, number one, the system got them growing up in violent areas. But then, even for the children that I'm seeing now acting out, not they don't have to come from a violent neighborhood. They don't have to come from a violent area. They don't have to come from a violent lifestyle to be violent. Look at all of the people that have been shooting stuff up in some of these schools, right? Raised up in good families, good households, uh, good money. They make good money. All these little boys keep on shooting stuff up. You look at the parents and we blame the parents, like, look at these parents, they must have raised them to be hateful. And no, I ain't gonna always blame it on the parents, right? Let's be honest. I'm gonna blame it on who we allow to be our leaders. If you vote in a felon to run the country, you're telling your kid, this is the man I look up to. If you vote in a man that takes sexual advantage of women, when you vote that man to be the president of the United States, what you're doing is telling your children, this is the man that your father looks up to. I respect him. So kids don't always have the words to tell you what's going on in their head. They're watchers and they're sponges and they're absorbing everything. When they see you watching this idiot talk on TV, talk nonsense, and you keep saying, hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, that kid absorbs, okay, so I need to look up to felons, um, people that abuse, sexually abuse women, frauds, thieves, crooks, mobsters. That's what I want to become. It's the truth. So you can't necessarily always blame the parents because maybe the parents aren't very vocal or active. But if that dude is on TV all the time and that's who you said you voted for, that kid tends to think that's the man that my father respects and looks up to. So maybe that's who I should respect and look up to. That's where we are. I feel so bad for these kids, man. I feel so bad for them. Now, I'm going to finish this video off with some good news. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew. Because I'm sure everybody can see it, because I can see it myself, and I'm me, so I know. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm just disappointed in this country. I'm disappointed in a lot of people I love, know, and love. I'm disappointed. That's all. And it's hard to cope with when the majority of people is just screwed up. Yeah, it's hard. So I'm learning to cope with it myself. So I'm, like I say, I'm human and I'm learning to deal with it. Deal with knowing the fact that this many people are this sick. This, this is still okay with everybody. This dude got a 47% approval rating. I'm like, how he got 47%? Everybody like, that's good. No, it's not. He should have a 0% approval rating. 0%. Until somebody say he got a 2% approval rating, I don't tell me he got 47 and that's good. Good. No, it's not. That's horrible. No, he needs a 2%. That's when I'll be like rubbing my mitts together. Other than that. But that many people love this chaos. That many people have taken. You ever hear the saying of, if you watch too many adult movies, that it will desensitize you for your wife or your husband in the bedroom? Have you ever heard stuff like that? If you watch too many scary movies, you won't be scared of much. If you watch too many blood flicks and slasher flicks, it desensitizes you. So if you watch too many X-rated pictures, it desensitizes you to the point you ain't even sexually aroused by your wife or your husband anymore, right? Your fantasy button is broken. Okay. That's what this is, man. This is chaos beyond any chaos we can imagine, and it's every day and it's constant to the point people are desensitized to how serious this is and they don't care anymore. Everybody think this is going to blow over, but people don't even realize these are the exact same blueprints and footsteps of that dude with that little black mustache. I mean, identical. Identical. And nobody's saying anything. I'm not gonna get into that realm. But it's like everybody just gave grandpa the keys to the family car and we all got in the back seat. Everybody in the back seat. Grandpa, you need your reading glasses? No, I'm okay. Grandpa, before you take off out of the driveway, You might want to cut the headlights on. It's getting pretty dark. We don't need no stupid headlights. Those are for wussies. That's that's where we are. We know grandpa got Alzheimer's. We know grandpa got dementia, but we just handed him the keys to the family car and we got in the back seat and about to go on a road trip. Grandpa, there's a red light coming up. You might want to start hitting the brakes. What the hell are brakes? What? I don't know your new fancy words, you hipster. That's where we are. That's us. That's America. We saw the signs and we are seeing the signs of mental breakdown, dementia. We see it, and ain't nobody saying anything. Grandpa, can you please pull over? You're going entirely too fast. Get your panties out of your creases. Just hang on to something. Grandpa, you might want to put on a seatbelt. You're doing 95 miles an hour in the school zone. What's a damn seatbelt? You know, back in my day, we didn't have seatbelts. That don't make it right, Grandpa. We just gave the keys to the family car to Grandpa that's mentally unstable, and he's doing 100 down the highway through a school zone, and everybody is acting like this is okay. It's just Grandpa. We love you, Grandpa. Pop, pop. All the other dude did was fall asleep, and he's unfit. All that other dude did was stutter a little bit. They said he was unfit. They pulled him off the shelf like his freshness date had went bad. That last president, they pulled that dude off the shelf like, oh my God, this is 30 days overdue. They pulled his freshness date off and replaced him with a fresh loaf of brown wheat bread. But this new one, he's stale, sour, molded, smell funny, and ain't nobody like, just mark it down. I think this will be good for another 30. Just mark it down 30%. Huh? Keep it on the shelf. Just mark it down a little bit. This new dude, his freshness ain't been over with. The whole inside of the bag of bread is green. Mark it down another 30%. That's where we are. Nothing anybody wanted happened. This dude just started plucking people out of everywhere like fresh vegetables out the garden. There's no rhyme or reason to any of this. But ain't nobody saying nothing. It reminds me of back in the day. Remember we used to have dance clubs. You can go to the club and dance. I ain't talking about none of these drinking clubs. I'm talking about like the MC Hammer days. You can go to the club and dance. Get down. And every time you go to a club, a dance hall, there's always this one in the center of the room doing some crazy stuff. And everybody standing there looking. The hell is... They don't belong here. Man. That's just dude, man. I said I was gonna have good news, and I do. I just wanted to let you know where my head is. I'm very disappointed in this country. I'm very disappointed in all the decisions that are being made. I'm very disappointed with all the people that's in charge of everybody. I'm all just so disappointed with the way grown ass people with a lot of power and money are handling the lives of the rest of the American people. There, I said it. I said it. So, on to the good news. If you stuck with me this long, thank you. I thought I wanted to get that out. I miss talking to people, not trolls, not bots. I miss talking to people. Today I had an appointment to have my pond uh checked out. And I got so happy. That appointment had to be canceled due to I forgot about an appointment I had to do. So Monday I will be having somebody come out to start letting me know everything about the pond. The last dude, he was too crooked. So I got these other people coming out and I hope they do a better job for me. So if everything go right, and I'm gonna get in the comments too before we go to, if everything goes right, we are going to be breaking ground for a new pond on Freedom Acres. Me and my wife was out here, Lady Led was here, and we was talking about where we want our house versus where we want the pond. And certain things have changed, and I'll share that with you. We're so close with the pond fund, thanks to everybody for all the support and all the donations for the pond fund. Um, we're so close that I said, you know what? Even if I don't have all the money, the 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 bits that I don't have is worth financing because it'll be a short-term financing situation. I will finance that because I know I can pay it off. But I need to have this done. And I wanted to talk to y'all about that too. Can't even see. Thank you for that. Who did that? I can't even see your name. Urban. God, I can't see it. Urban Homestead. Thank you, sir. I just got a promotion at work and wanted to contribute to the Pond Fund. You have been a huge blessing to me and my family. We wouldn't be as prepared as we are without you. Thanks for always. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Thank you. I mean that from my heart because I know I've been going hard talking about the land. A lot of us homesteaders have been. Thank you. You want to know why? And I'm a cut all the crap, and I'm just gonna be real as you. I'm always being as real as I possibly can, but I'm really truly gonna say some stuff that I usually bite my tongue on. You know, you know why all of these homesteaders are showing you this stuff. I'm going to speak for myself. I'm not going to speak for everybody else because that's not fair. That's not fair for me to speak for everybody else. I'm going to speak for me. You know why I show you all this stuff? Because I'm so proud of my people. I'm so proud of us. And any other folks, this ain't nothing against you. White folks, Latinos, it ain't got nothing, I ain't nothing against you at all. But I'm going to tell you something. You don't see too many black folks on social media, okay? On social media. I ain't saying we don't exist. I'm saying you don't see too many black folks on social media that are Landowners, homesteaders, farmers, you don't. You can almost count them on one hand. And to see more of us emerging, I want to be part of that. When people ask me, they say, Laird, what is the block? The block is the Black Landowners Club. And the only reason I didn't just keep on blurting that out, because I didn't want people to think that it's a race thing. It's not. I'm so proud. I'm so proud to see us doing and living this lifestyle too. And it's a reason why. Because we, my people, have the belief that we don't belong here. This is not our area. This is not our sector of expertise, and we couldn't be far. That couldn't be farther from the truth, right? That couldn't be farther from the truth. We belong here too. We can homestead too. We can farm too. We can do this stuff too. And it's not somebody that I know personally told me that's some white shit. And I said to them, man, you know how dumb you sound? You mean to tell me getting fresh eggs and chickens and goats and that's white people stuff? See, people like that I stay away from. Because that let me know you don't even know your history. So when I see my people living this lifestyle or even attempting to live this lifestyle, I'm so proud. I'm so proud. So, because I'm not the only one creating content, I get to see other people creating content. I get to learn from others. And I'm not saying I don't learn from other races and other creeds. I'm saying it's a feeling of acceptance when I see my own people doing it. You understand? And everybody gonna think this is a racist. It's not. It's that feeling of familiarity, of being familiar. You understand? It's the feeling of your first day at school, and now you're trying to figure out which lunch table you go sit at. Do you sit with the nerds? Do you sit with the jocks? Do you sit with the punk rockers, the weirdos? Where do you go? And once you find your lunch table, not saying you won't eat lunch at no other table, but once you find your main lunch table, that's where you sit all year. And when somebody is missing, you like, hey, what's the name? Yeah, they ain't come to school today, right? Thank you for that. Who was that? Dave Busby, man. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Man, I sure appreciate you. Thank you, brother. So that's all. I've learned something. I've learned who I am. And a lot of people can't say that. Here I am trying to get up money to buy a pond. A pond. A dirt hole with water in it. I'm doing everything I can and saving every penny I got to build a pond on my land. I saved every penny I had to purchase the land. Now I'm saving every penny I got to purchase a pond to put on the land. Then to save all the money I got to tear down the mobile homes and the structures on my land. Then every penny I got to build a real home on my land for my wife. The funny thing about that is years ago, all I was thinking about was cutting my grass, washing my car, clothes, jewelry, shoes, just nonsense. Thank you for that, bro Allen. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. A lot of people, I'm not saying it's a bad thing if that's how you like to live, right? I just wish I could share this feeling with everybody. And I got a feeling if you was out here on Freedom Acres for a nice period of time, by yourself. You ain't walking around with me. We ain't doing a whole bunch of talking and blah, 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 and chopper, chopper, chopper. I have a feeling if I invited you to Freedom Acres, you, and I hung out with you for a day or two, and then I just told you, have your way. Go down and look at the water. Go take a hike through the woods. Go check out the land. You don't need to be walking hand in hand with me. Just don't get lost. I'm not going to be here every single day in your face. Go for it. Explore. Enjoy. I have a feeling if you was here for about 2 weeks with peace, quiet, nobody walking back and forth, no cars every 5 seconds up and down the street, no dogs barking, no mailman, no nothing every 5 seconds to pop up, no school buses, no none of that bullshit. It's just you, your peace of mind, the Father, clean, fresh air, and clear skies. At night, the stars look like, them little LED lights you put on your ceiling when you're young. That the stars look like you can reach up and touch them because the sky is so clear. Because there's no buildings, there's no corporations, there's no factories, there's none of that engineering, industrial crap that pollutes the air. It's nothing, none of that stuff out here. If you could just feel this, because I can't tell you, I don't have the words for it, nor do I have the vocabulary. It's just, it's something that you have to experience. I'm going to say this: no light pollution, no. Nothing is blocking them stars, and nothing is blocking that sun because it'll burn your bald spot out. Ask me how I know. How many people would like to experience something like this? Just peace. How many people would like to just go to some land? You don't own land, so you would like to just go to a piece of land where there's nobody around and just enjoy it. No people, no barking dogs, no cars, none of that. How many people would like to see that? Thank you, the beast. For a second, I thought that's it. Diabetes. Okay. Thank you for that. So aloha, blessings everyone. A little help for the Pond Project. Thank you so much. Keep it up, brother. Thank you so much. All of that helps, man. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. For everybody that want that experience to even know what some of us homesteaders keep talking about, it's so many homesteaders out here that's so passionate, and I get it. There are no words. There are no facial expressions or body motions to explain this kind of serenity. There is none. There is one. I have never done yoga, real yoga. I have meditated before, but it's hard to get into that zone during meditation. I forget what it's Zen, I think it's called. Of you have left your body kind of meditation. This is the close thing you can get to that. And when you're meditating, that brings you closer to the Father, right? When there's nobody else talking, nobody else walking by you, nobody, excuse me, sir, can you? It's just you and the creatures in the woods and flying through the air. That's as closest to the Father as you're going to get. So I will ask you this. Have you ever thought to yourself about, instead of going to the beach this year, or instead of going to Vegas, instead of going to New York, Chicago, all of these Florida, instead of going to these places, have you ever thought about just, it's a lot of places out there. You got to Google it and look around. Have you ever wanted to just go stay on some land or in the mountains somewhere? I think everybody needs that. I think everybody needs that for at least a week, 1 to 2 weeks with no. But I'm not talking about one. Listen to me, because I need to be clear. I'm not talking about one of those retreats where you have an agenda every day. Today is going to be sushi bar. Then we're going to have a luau, and then we're going to have a pool party on Thursday. I ain't talking about one of them. I'm talking about either a wooded place or open place with nobody around, nothing around, a cabin, a little shower, maybe a little hammock swing, and a porch chair. That's what I'm talking about. And the only noises you're going to hear is the animals at night. That's what I'm talking about. That kind of serenity. You can't you can't duplicate that. You can't close your eyes and imagine that. And that's what I get to do. And that's what a lot of these homesteaders on this channel get to do. And I wish the world was a different place, because if the world was a different place, I would invite everybody here to feel it. I really would. If it just wasn't a bunch of lunatics showing up, which that's why I even made the club private, because people is nuts. But I would love to let everybody experience this feeling. For instance, and I said I was going to take this to 90 minutes. We might as well take it to 2, because now I got something I really want to tell you. You see the lights running, my water running, my air conditioner running, my fans running, my TV running, fans, lights, everything is off solar. So here's my next question for you. Can you imagine that everything that you do in your everyday life wouldn't cost you no money? All it will cost you is your initial investments. If you invested in solar power generators and solar panels, it's going to pinch you in the boo boo at first. And now I'm going to show you this. Your initial investment when you purchase solar power generators and solar panels. You probably looking anywhere around. I'm being honest with you. Say about $7,000. Okay, to light up a good small cabin. All right, small cottage. As time go on, you purchase another solar panel here, purchase one there. But here's the thing. You gonna think that you coming out the pocket really bad when you first purchase some solar for your cabin. But I am living proof. You're gonna make your money. And I know it's a lot of videos out there that say, is solar worth it? Hell, forget what they say. I am living proof. Hell yes, it's worth it. I'm going to tell you another thing that I just tweaked in the last few days. If you put up enough solar panels, I'm running 4,000 watt hours. 4,000 watt hours are running this entire cabin. Refrigerator, freezer, TV, VCR, water pumps, porch lights, everything, everything, lamps, 4,000 watt hours. Now, how am I running the air condition during the day? Air condition, a typical 10,000, 8,000 watt BTU, 8,000 BTU air condition is going to be pulling about almost 600 watts. Mine pulls about 600 watts on high. I've tested it. You want to know something? That's because I'm bringing in 1,000 watts of solar. I tweaked it, added some other panels, switched a few things around. I'm bringing in, listen to me close. As my cabin is running, usually it's using about 175 watts. If I got my fans going, the lights is going, the lamps, I'm using about 175-ish watts, maybe 200 watts if I'm brewing some coffee electrically. I want you to stick with me. So if I'm only using 200 watts to run everything and live like normal, like you'll be doing at your house, watching TV, listening to the radio, refrigerator and the freezer going, coffee brewing, right? Because after the coffee is done brewing, it just shuts off and goes, it only pops on every few minutes and pops back off. The refrigerator only pops on for a minute, compresses, and then it pops back off. Everything is not a constant. So imagine this. I'm only using about 200 watts on an average. But I'm bringing in 1,000 watts. So while my cabin is running on that 200 watts, I have 800 watts being stored back into the system. So get this. If my air conditioner is running and I'm running the cabin, so that's 500 watts for the air conditioner, 200 watts to be running the cabin like normal, that's 700 watts. I still got 300 watts charging the system. So I want you to understand, the air condition, the cabin during the daylight hours, all of this is running for free. The sun has got it running for free. And it's still saving 300 watts, storing it away like your savings account. So when it get dark, like now, I got all night worth of power without the sun being out. So now I'm just depleting my savings account. Soon as that sun come back up, my gas generator ain't kicked on in 3 days because I had to, once I tweaked it and switched some panels around and added some panels, my gas generator don't even have to come on no more. So I want you to understand every day, however much power that you use every single day in your house, can you imagine not having any of those bills? I'm just trying to get you to, I'm not trying to teach you anything. I'm just trying to put your head in a certain space. Did I see Big Rooster now? What's up, Big Rooster? What's going on, brother? I was listening to you singing the other day. I think it was Temptations. I guessed it. I think I guessed it. Um, but yeah, running for free. I got you, man. I was watching the other day. I forgot the name of your show, but yeah. I was checking. I was here cracking up because I knew it right off the bat. Everybody was like, I knew it though. Uh, was I right though? Was I right? I think it was a temptation. I'm pretty sure it was a temptation. So, can you imagine living for free, everybody? Can you? I'm here to tell you this. A Big Rooster say, it was Al Green. Damn it. Now you're going to make me go back and watch it again. Nah, you sure? Nah, I'm going to go back and watch it again. You're going to make me play that game with you. That's what you're going to make me do. Because I could swore I had money on Temptation. But can y'all imagine living for free? Can you? Your lights on, TV on. Al Green can't get that is can't get no. Al Green ain't can't get next to you. Can't get next to you, babe. Can't get next to you. That's the Temptations. Right. I said it right. That's not Al Green. Or Al Green also has a can't get next to you. See, you got me playing the game with you now. Al Green a version. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I was about to say, I ain't gonna call you wrong on here, but okay. Al Green and the Temptations. Now you gonna make me go listen to Al Green's version of Can't Get Next to You. Okay. Okay. My man. I was watching, man. I was watching. I just and I sit back in the shadows, but I'm watching. Um, but yeah, y'all. I'm gonna tell you this, and I mean this, and this is my opinion. We've been living wrong. We've been living wrong for a long, long time. We've been passing laws and rules to think that we're passing laws and rules for the best of us. It's not. We are literally voting and passing rules and laws on our own incarceration, our own. I don't want to say that word. We vote for this stuff and we mess ourselves up over all these years. We don't even know what we've done. We've literally made it so we have zero control over anything anymore. I want you to understand bondage. Thank you for that, adventures. I was going to say something else that I didn't want to say the word. We vote for our own bondage. Thank you. Think about that, man. That's crazy. Brainwashed and programmed. So think just none of us, none of us should have to work 10 and 12 and 16 hours a day just to come home and know you got to go and do it again tomorrow. Thank you for that, Lisa. Voting against our own interests. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Every day you go to work, you never think to yourself, I gotta do this again and again. Every day is grueling, but I gotta do this tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next week and the next month and the next year until your back is crumbled over like a freaking Frito chip. We live for the moment so much that we never get a chance. They work us so hard. They don't. The reason they work us so hard because they don't want you thinking too hard about the future. That's why they won't even give you the weekend off no more. They don't want you to start having enough time to sit and think about how messed up this is. If they keep you working and then the little few minutes they give you keep you distracted, you will never figure this out. I just really truly wish that I was younger before I figured it out fully. I knew I started figuring it out I was about 24, 24, 23. I started buying duplexes in apartment buildings. I started doing that, me and my wife, because I didn't want to keep going to work every day like that. And I was like, I want to just run my own show. I'm tired of going to work for people and you underappreciated, underpaid, and then it never stops. Going to work never stops, man. They work us till we die. So before we go to looking down our nose at prostitutes and pimps and bums, before we go looking down our nose at them, think about what you doing. It's the same cycle. They just selling a different product. That's all. And until you start trying to figure out how to get away from that bullshit, you stuck up in that boy. I pray to the Father I never have to go back into that working system. I pray I don't. I pray I don't. I pray I can just figure out how to just keep the momentum going. I never want to go back into the workforce like that. Never. Big Rooster say, real talk, man, brother. I never want to go back into the workforce. Not into this world where here's my problem. I'm not a lazy man, never have been. My problem with going back into the workforce, I don't even have a problem with a man or woman working. My problem is family first. Fam, there is no, you supposed to be asleep for 8 hours. This is how I'm thinking this. You supposed to be asleep for 8 hours. So just get rid of that first 8 hours, right? So you got 16 hours left. Why is 12 of those hours at work? You got 10, 12 hours. Let's just keep it 100. You work a 10-hour day. Out of 16 hours you got 6 hours to spend with your family and 8 hours to sleep. You got only 6 hours to figure out what's going on with your son, why he got a black eye, who your daughter is dating, why your wife ain't home yet, and who draws is these. You gotta y'all ain't catch that. Like who boxes is on my Who boxer drawers is on my bed? You got 6 hours to figure out why come this boy grades is so bad? Who want to fight my daughter? Who is your mama's new friend to keep coming over and talk about me just coming to see how y'all doing? Y'all ain't catch that, did you? You got 6 hours before you got to get some sleep to go to work in the morning and figure out what they want you doing for the next 10 hours. Now, most jobs going to work you 10, 12, 16 hours. You pull a double, family first. That should be backwards. You got to get that 8 hours of sleep. There's no reason you shouldn't have 8 hours with your family, period. That 8 hours of work, that's fine. But your work hours should never overlap your family hours. That's why the world is so screwed up. We keep wondering what's wrong with the world. This is it. Ain't nobody in the household guiding these kids in which direction to go. Cause you at work. Y'all at work. And if you ain't at work, you sleep. And when you do get a minute to yourself, you want to go have you a shot of liquor somewhere just to deal with the pain of, of not understanding why is this way. And that's a normal family. We ain't talking about divorces, cheating, none of that. Infidelity, we ain't even talking about that. Kids done joined the gang, we ain't even talking about that. Normal family, it's over. Now mom and dad is working full-time jobs. Mom and dad is pulling overtime. Ain't nobody, these kids, we was latchkey kids. These kids is just quantum leap kids because listen to me. My days, we was latchkey kids, right? You had to come home to your mama. Your mama be home coming in right behind you or something, right? You had to be home, make your own sandwich real quick and go do your homework. Your mama be home in a minute. We was latchkey kids. These kids today is quantum leap kids because they just blinking in and out. They don't know where they at. They don't know who gonna help them. Remember quantum leap? They don't know who gonna help them. They don't know which direction to go. They just gonna just wing it every day. Ain't nobody here. Mama gone. Dad don't even know who daddy is. So it's man. But they want you at work all the time. I had a idea years ago when I was a nurse. Now I want to get y'all's idea, so everybody don't leave because I want to see what you got to say. Years ago, I was a nurse, and we worked the weekend shift. Now, some hospitals do it different, but a lot of hospitals back then did this. You work 3 12-hour shifts. You work 3 12-hour shifts. They gave you 36 hours. But since you put in that overtime on those 3 days, counted as your 40-hour work week. You got 4 days off. You work 3 days in a row, you got 4 days off. You work 3 12-hour days. So that's kind of, to me, was like being a fireman, right? You gonna be in the firehouse for the next 3 days. And after that, your tour of duty, you can go home. Go get your home time for 4 days. Nobody even knew I had a job. My children asked me, well, let me back this up. I'm trying to remember which kid it was. Maybe it was my baby boy, Little Led. When the parents' work day came, he didn't ask me to come to his classroom and tell him what I did because he thought I ain't have no job. He thought his daddy was a bum. It was him too. He wanted my wife to come to his school to show what she did. My wife is a school teacher. And now I said, son, you know your mama gonna be at work though, cause she teaches. Why didn't you ask me? He said, you ain't got no job. You don't work nowhere. Now there's a little elementary school kid that I want to just kind of, what you mean I don't got no damn job? Dad, you don't got no job. How you figure I ain't got no job? You pick me up every day from school. You take me to school every day. You go shopping all the time. Sometimes you got to go pick up mom. Sometimes you got to go. I said, boy, I do got a job. Where the hell you think I'm at? Now, I want y'all to stick with this. I want y'all to understand why he thought this, okay? I work the weekend shift. I work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? I work third shift. The reason I worked third shift because my wife is there, right? So she can handle them during the daytime, on the weekend, and that we didn't need no babysitter, none of that stuff. Think about that. So while they're asleep, I'm at work saving lives or trying to help save lives. So by the time they woke up for school, this is God honest truth, my true story. Les True Hollywood Stories. By the time my kids woke up for school, I woke my kids up for school, told them to start getting ready. I still had on my scrubs. Hurry up, we running late. Help him make his lunch. Get in the car, take my kids to school. So my youngest son, that's all he saw. He didn't know, he thought my scrubs was just some clothes I like to wear. No, daddy is exhausted and I still got on my uniform. My wife couldn't always take him to school because she got to go in a whole other direction of the city to get to her school classes, right? For her students. So my son only saw me. So he didn't even think dad even had a job, but that's how smooth our operation was. I worked 3 days a week. I worked third shift, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So my kids didn't even know I had a job. I was off for that 4 days, Monday through Thursday. So he didn't think I had a job then because I'm home all the time. So I want to ask y'all, this is a question for you, everybody watching me. Why the hell can't we do that with every job? Don't you think that's a good idea? Work your job 3 12-hour days and have 4 whole days to spend with your family and repair what's broken with your children, repair what's broken with your wife and relationship, repair what's broken with your house, and get a day just for yourself to go fishing. Why they keep give you here and there hours and keep your ass at work every single day staring you down your mouth? Don't you think it's a good idea to just knock out 3 12-hour days of whatever job you're doing so you can honestly have 4 solid days of family and bonding? I feel, imagine this. My family, thank you, Big Rooster. My family at that time was so strong that my kids don't even know I got a job. You know why? Because daddy was always there. I'm going to tell you this. My baby boy didn't want me to come to the parent work day to tell him what I did for a living because he thought I was a bum. But he knew every time he got sick or he needed to come home or something is wrong, he told his principal or his teacher or the nurse or whoever, call my daddy. because my daddy is home. Think about that. When my son got sick, hurt, whatever, I had to go back to school and pick him up. If something went wrong, got in a fight, I had to go handle that because he knew daddy was home. He could count on that. My baby boy grew up his whole life knowing I can count on my dad being home. Imagine that. My dad's going to be home. He also knew I can't go with my friends to do nothing crazy because my dad might be pulling up any minute. Because sometimes I would just pull up and check on him. So that made him think twice before he ran off and did something stupid. That's how I used to be. I was scared my mom and daddy would pull up. And he had that fear of respect for what I do. Now, if you worked your 3 12-hour shifts, counted as 40 hours, you got a full 40-hour a week, right? And turn around and you got 4 days off. Somebody tell me what's bad with that idea. How is that wrong? Why ain't we doing this? Why the hell did they start paying everybody every 2 weeks? What is that? What is that? How is everybody getting paid every 2 weeks or every 30 days? Who made this stupid shit up? And in between there, boy, you failing. You done got a couple of quick title loans. You done got some payday loans. You done mess around and pawn some of your jewelry. You done mess around and pawned a couple of your wigs. Ladies, I'm messing with you. I know y'all ain't gonna pawn y'all wigs. But you done pawned off some of your fingernails and eyelashes to the pawn shop. I know y'all ain't gonna pawn y'all fingernails and eyelashes. I'm messing with you. But you done run across your mind though, right? This wig is worth something. Y'all be scrapping y'all finger through it like this all the time. That wig worth something. You will pawn him in a minute, but that'll be the last thing you do because you know you pay good money for that Brazilian horsehair wig or something, whatever it's called. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why are we waiting every 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get a check? Why can't we get paid every week like we used to back in the old days? And then, man, work your 3 12-hour shifts and then be off for the 4 days and take care of your family. Am I crazy for this? I'm just asking y'all because y'all here. And I know how I used to live. Dang, I can't see. Okay. I know how I used to do it. I want to hear from y'all. Do you think that's crazy? To work 3 12-hour days and have 4 days off. And to get paid every single week. I don't even understand that. Do you think that's wrong? Because if you work a job anyway, and you're going to work 40 hours anyway, look at how many more people they can even hire in them slots. Imagine this. No, I ain't even gonna go there. I ain't even gonna go there. But I wanted to touch on that. See, that's my point exactly. This system is backwards. And you want to hear something? Say, I understand that I did the same thing. I used to work for McDonnell Douglas out here in Long Beach. Okay, let me see. Led, I said above, I was able to work 6 12-hour shifts every 2 weeks, but they started to mandate that. I'm sorry, I can't see. It's my eyes. Had to work an extra 4 hours whenever They were short staffed. See, okay, I'm going to tell you something else I thought of. Now, I'm going to give this company props because this was one of the best companies I've ever worked for. And anybody, do I got any AT aliens in the house? Do I got any people from Georgia in the house? I used to work for Shaw Carpet, and I'm calling them out because they was dope. That was one of the best jobs I ever had. Just not necessarily the money, but just the ethics of the company. Has anybody ever heard of a Shaw Carpet up in is up north over top of Cartersville? I could forget the name of the little city it was in. Above Cartersville, Georgia. Shaw Carpet. Can anybody know what I'm talking? Is it Dalton? Is that Dalton, Georgia? I don't think it's that far up. Say, Led, I quit my day job. Now I work from home as a homeschool my son. Good for you. All right, J3GS, what's going on, brother? Anyway, this company, they did everything right. Everything. They paid you every single week. I lost my train of thought now. They paid you. It's in Dalton. Thank you. I lost my train of thought trying to figure out where it was. Okay, I worked at Shaw Carpet in Dalton, Georgia. And everything they did was right. I'm trying to remember what my point was. I'm sorry. Brain fog. Um, I lost it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that one. That one, definitely a brain fog. But this company, this is how they. I'm gonna go on and talk about something else. Maybe to come back to me. You know what this company did? They the people owned the company because they was gonna close down years ago. So the workers like took over the company. They bought into the company. They paid every single week. So the workers owned the company. There was no corporate monsters coming to get you. We owned the company. So let me see. You said it was the best company you worked for. Yeah, I know, and I can't remember. It's just so many different things. There was something in particular I wanted to hit on, but I can't think of it. Anyway, this company, number one, they let you buy into their shares, their stocks and shares every morning. I had never seen nothing like this. You know what they did? Uh, they exercised every single morning. Has anybody ever seen their hours? No. Let me just say this. Their ethics. Yeah, like I said, I lost it. I appreciate everybody trying to remind me. I lost it. They made everybody exercise and stretch every single morning. Every it don't matter whenever your shift start. Third shift, morning, it don't matter. Stretch, relax, release. Gave you healthy snacks, and then you could start your day. They cared. They really you want to know what? This is probably the only job I've ever had where I came in sick. And the lady came to me and said, "Oh, Led, you don't look good." I said, "Yeah, I just got a little, a little something going on up in here." Uh, yeah, I told her I had a little, She said, "Yeah, you might want to go home." Oh, I remember, because going home made me think of it. Listen, let me back up. Let me back up. I just remembered, y'all. Don't leave me. I just remembered. Me saying I wanted to go home just made me remember. And then I'm going to finish that story about me going home, okay? They had a crew where all this crew did was you was on call like an on-call nurse or an on-call doctor. They have a crew waiting in the wings on standby for anything to happen. So if we was talking earlier, somebody said something about they had to stay overtime because they were short staffed. Shaw Carpet was never understaffed because all they had to do was they would send you home, or if somebody didn't show up, they had a backup crew to fill all these different positions. Everybody had to sign up. Well, not you ain't have to sign up, but it might be your week to be on call. So if it's your week of that month to be on call, say, okay, for this whole week, I'm on call. That means at the drop of a dime, you may have to go into work for somebody else that didn't show up or whatever. And I'm going to tell you something. That was one of the best feelings in the world. It wasn't like nobody's forcing me because I'm getting paid a certain wage even if I don't show up. Do you understand? If they call you and you're on call, you're going to make a higher wage for being there. It's like you work. I can't remember what it is. Please don't quote me on this. But I think it was like time and a half. Like if you came to work because you was on call and they called you, said come on in because Billy didn't come in. You got to work, and instead of you just making your $10 an hour, I'm just making some numbers up. Now you making $15 an hour. And it was like, hell yeah. Game Nerd Mom, it might have been double time. It might have been. So you didn't even mind if they called you. Matter of fact, sometimes you kind of want them to call you. I hope somebody don't show up. You would leave if it was your week to be on call. You would tell the secretary, look, hey, if don't nobody call, if somebody call in, call me first. And she would be like, I got to go down the roster. I know, but if just tell them I'm ready to come in. Because you making all this money for nothing. And then Big Rooster said, yes, sir, that's a great plan. And you know what's crazy is you might come in and start working good. You done worked about 2 hours or something, and that person will show up. They would do this even if somebody was running late. So now they run these skeleton crews so bad. That's why stuff be broken, raggedy, putting junk through, running that junk down the line and producing junk because it is nobody there to quality control. Nobody cares. People tired. Let me tell you something. The worst thing you can do is run a skeleton crew inside of an automotive factory. I've done that most of my life. We be tired, exhausted, stinking, musty, and after a while, I'm telling the truth. We don't care if we put all the screws in your car. We do not care if we ran out of bolts. Now that they got robots and sensors, that changes things. But back in the day, if my job was to put 7 bolts in this floorboard and I'm tired and I'm not about to be running back and forth because I ain't got enough bolts in my little pouch, you might get 4 of them. You might mess around and get 4. So when you take your car to the shop and the mechanic say, man, you only got about 4 bolts in here. This the problem right here. You be like, dang, I wonder how that came out. What did it do? Rattle out or something? Man, it don't even look like none was ever in here. Have y'all ever been to the mechanic and he say something to you like that? Okay. People like Me, skeleton crews doing about 3 and 4 jobs in the middle of the night trying to do something to a vehicle. Did it cost them $800 to make, but they gonna make you purchase it for $80,000? Shit. Anyway, I'm not gonna stay on that. My whole reason for coming on here tonight was to say thank you. And I mean that. I want to say thank you to everybody for supporting me for all these years. That was the main goal of this video. So I hope my rooster is broken. It's 1 a.m. He crowing. He know he's smoking rocks. Judy say glad about to get your pond. Glad about my pond. I can't wait. Me and my let me take can I know I want to get out of here, but I want to leave on a good note. Me and my wife standing there, and I showed her where I want to put the pond at. I've been married for over 30 something years, right? So we disagree from time to time, and then sometimes we have to agree to disagree, and then it's sometimes we just kind of be like, okay, we both come to those terms of meet halfway, right? Today, today, when I showed her where I want that pond, and I showed her the people is coming out, and this is how I changed how I want to do it. When you see your wife in 100% agreement with your plan, and don't even ask you like, well, why you want it right there? Or wouldn't it be better over there? That spot is a little shadier. Why? When your wife or your husband like, hey, now see, now I like that. That's all a man asks for. That's all a grown man ever asks for right there. Is to know we are we on one accord with these ideas. And then when we talked about where the house is going to be, I was in 100% agreement with where she wanted to put the house. I was in 100% agreement because I said that makes all the sense in the world. That feeling of when two people is thinking alike, that feeling of the real dreams start to come out. Oh, Big Rooster, come on now. Wait a minute now. Big Rooster said, what kind of fish are we stocking in the pond? Rooster, brother, listen. I would like some catfish, some bluegill, some brim, some sunfish. If I can get some bass, if I can get this pond big enough, I'll throw a couple bass in there. Um, I really want them catfish though. I know people don't like catfish. I love catfish to eat, number one, but for the most part, catfish are resilient. You don't got to worry about messing with the oxygen and algae. Catfish will live in a turd if you let it. I love catfish and some hot sauce. Rooster, brother, I'll mess around and get some catfish in that pond right there, bruh. Man, don't get me started. Listen to me. I will even start doing like you ever see them folks go down there, they reach their arm down there and say they call it noodling. They be underwater and just pull a wait a minute. pull a whole catfish in his mouth like this. I got me one, Billy. Billy, I done mess around and caught me one. I will be noodling. And as crazy as it look, I'll be like, so what? And if y'all hear like, today, Lead Farmer 73 has passed away. We have not yet learned how this has happened, but you know what it's gonna be. Y'all gonna be like, he was trying to eat healthy, probably done mess around, had a heart attack, then slipped up, ate a Snicker bar, went straight to his heart. You know how that go. That ain't gonna be it. The people that really, really know me, they're gonna be like, no, it wasn't the food that got him. That food messed around with. He kept talking about some damn noodling, going deep sea diving to catch fish, stick his arm down catfish mouths and stuff. That's what probably got him. The people that really know me, like, he's not going to die in an honorable way. He's going to die doing something stupid. If they said Lead Farmer 73 passed away, he was doing wheelies on a mini bike or something, deep sea scuba diving in a pond for fish with his hands, it's going to be something like that. Okay? Buck naked too. Buck naked. I know it's going to be something stupid because yeah. I'm going to be noodling. Man, don't get me started. I will be in that pond. Y'all don't know what that means to me. So you don't quite understand every time you donate. You don't understand what you're doing. You're creating a monster is what you're doing. Because I want to let you know how important that is. To sit around, peace, tranquility, and be fishing in your own pond. And I don't got to sit there and be fishing all day. Go out there, catch me about 2 good, nice sized cats, bring them in here, break them all down, fry them boys up. Oh my. Go out there and give me some fresh eggs and batter that boy. Go out there and grab me a couple tomatoes and fried green tomatoes. Yeah. Go get me some of that okra, fry up some of that okra. Ooh, thank you, Shaggy. Thank you for the pond fun. Thank you. I appreciate you. She said, but no noodling. No noodling by yourself. I ain't even gonna put one of them scuba things in my mouth. I ain't even gonna put none of the little scuba tube. I ain't even gonna go down there with a scuba tube. I'm gonna do just like them folks down in Louisiana be down there noodling. I'm gonna have on like either I'm gonna be naked, cause I done seen them naked. I'm gonna either be naked or I'm gonna have on like a wife beater shirt, a muscle shirt down there, and some little shorts. Man, you don't never see them dudes down in Louisiana. There be alligators and everything in there, and they be down under the water. And I don't know. Them folks down in Louisiana is like Aquaman. You ever seen them? Said Game Nerd Mom said, no, Lid, just no. They be underwater for about 30 minutes. And I be like, is they waiting for the body to start floating? Or then some dude come up like, we done mess around and we done got him. I got him, Billy. Knock him over the head. Woo! Woo! Hit him. This some bitch is heavy. Look, I know most people. I'm gonna go and say it for you. Let's be for real now. This ain't racist. This serious. And I know it's a lot of white folks watching me too that's gonna agree. You know what we say when we see white folks down there noodling? We be like, boy, them white folks surely is crazy. Cause you ain't never seen no black man noodling, have you? You ain't never seen no black folks noodling. If you seen black folks noodling, somebody tell me. Would you please? I ain't never seen no black folks noodling. Never. Not on social media or TikTok. Show me a black noodler. Okay, so even white folks cannot deny. Even white folks be like, boy, them boys crazy. Even white folks say, we be like, boy, them white folks show this crazy. Why didn't he just get a pole? Why didn't he just get a pole or a net? Throw a cast net. Nope. That's too easy for them folks down there, boy. They just jump on the water. They ain't got no clothes on, no shoes, no socks, or nothing, Jesus. And go out there and grab a catfish deep down in his throat. Dude, listen, do you understand what it takes to grab a catfish by the lips and jam your arm down his throat? I got him, Billy. Knock him over the head. Or come up. Have you ever seen one of them some bitch come back up with a gator like this? I got him. Hit that some bitch. You got, where's your 22? Where's your Ruger? Pop him. I'm holding. You go ahead, pop him right here. Pop him. That some bitch wiggling on me now. He about to start spinning. He about to start spinning. Pop him, Billy. They grabs alligators like this. They go underwater and grab one and come back up. Pop him. Where's your Ruger? Get the 22. No, don't get the goddamn 9mm. With 22 will do it. Put it right between the eyes. Right here. Right here, Billy. Hit him. I'm gonna back up a little bit. You know how gangster that is? So, yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing that. I'm gonna go down there and do some noodling. You gonna see. You will see. And everybody gonna be like, what? What happened to Led? He was lost some weight. He was getting healthy. Noodling. Death by noodling. Damn. He did all that just to get noodled. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Hey, look. Yep, the pond done mess around got him. He wanted it. He got it. He was working hard to get that. That must have been his bucket list or something. So look, y'all. I just wanted to tell y'all thank you. And I mean it. Thank you for everything. Thank you for all these years. I'm gonna tell you something else. Thank you for keeping me motivated. Y'all be telling me I motivate y'all, but y'all keep me motivated too. You don't know. If you are not a content creator, you have no idea how many times we want to quit. It runs through our minds all the time of just quitting. Like, that's enough. Social media done got crazy. I've had enough. I don't want to do this anymore. It's not fun anymore. When you get to that point and you ready to chalk it up, and if you see a content creator missing for a couple of days or something, they're burnt out all the time. They're not just burnt out and taking a day off for themselves. Sometimes they are contemplating calling it a day. And somebody might email you and be like, hey, where's your video? What's going on? You good? You sure? You need you, man. That kind of thing, you don't even know what that means to content creators. And it's the truth. Even just a comment, a pop up on an old video or something. That, like, damn, somebody actually care. And then you click on them and they're a real person talking to you. Every time a real person comments on one of my videos, you got a real channel, a real person. I subscribe. I don't even look. You might be talking about doing me in or something. I'm subscribing to your channel because I'm like, man, this is the actual real human being. That's something we miss. And I didn't want to get on here rant and rave, and I didn't. I just wanted to let you guys know thank you. All of you, thank you. I love you for that. Because the part that I don't want to go missing out of social media, because so many aspects of it is just foul. I want the viewers to remember that we are human beings too. We are humans. It's not a TV show. We're not actors. We're not high paid Hollywood stars. We are real people. So the things you say can and will be held against you. You don't know, you're not writing some stinking fan mail or something. Some of the things you saying might hurt somebody so bad that they end up going in a dark closet somewhere and tying up more than they tie, if you dig what I'm saying. Watch what you say on this machine. This machine is powerful. If you haven't seen the power of social media, this machine is powerful. And your words or your thumbs can get somebody killed. I want you to think about that. The words you say when you twiddling your thumb just to say some stupid shit to somebody. Look at Drake. Look at Drake. Didn't he call somebody years ago Twitter fingers? Look at Drake. Who was that he called Twitter fingers? Thank you, Dave Busby. Where Big Rooster at? Who did Drake call Twitter fingers? What was that boy name? Meek Mill. Called Meek Mill Twitter fingers. Now he's Twitter fingers. That boy's so hurt, he's suing. I have never in my whole life heard of a rap battle or beef. I've heard of rap battles and beef getting people killed, Tupac, Biggie. I've never heard that your feelings is so hurt by some Twitter fingers and some slick rhymes and some bars that you like, oh, God. Brrr, brrr. Hello, J&J Law Services. Yeah, this Drake. How much would it cost me to retain a lawyer? What seems to be a problem? This dude over here talk about me. And he be saying stuff and he be acting like I'm a little girl or something. And I be crying. Sir, you are crying right now. That's not neither here nor there. Can I retain a lawyer, please? That boy, listen. That boy feeling so hurt over some bars. Your boy suing. He just changed rap and hip hop forever. He took it to another level. Might be a minor. That boy head exploded. His head exploded. He couldn't even come back with no, you can't come back with no harder bars than that to the point, and it's all kind of truth. He ain't dogging his truth. He burnt you with truth because you tried to burn him with some truth, but his truth burnt a little more. He turned the heat up on it. I'm suing him. He didn't say, look, think about this. Your boy never said he about to run up on him. Your boy never said he about to put a couple plugs in him. Your boy never said he about to put the stopper in the drain. Your boy never said none of that. Your boy said, I'm suing. Wow. Tupac and Biggie, them days is gone. Them days is gone. That kind of beef is gone. That gunplay, that's gone. Now is Drake beefs? Lawyers? The lawyers gonna be in the courtroom beefing. I don't like this. Hip hop is dead. Hip hop is gone. Hip hop is gone. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. On hip hop, hip hop is gone. You know, say he never survived 80s. Man, Drake wouldn't survive the 80s in no, not even in no radio battle. You know, Drake couldn't survive the LL Kumo D style beefs. You know, Drake couldn't survive the KRS One and Cooley D style beefs. Like he couldn't survive the what was my man's name? Them uh oh, I forgot. Cannabis and LL Cool J beef. He couldn't even handle them beefs. Was mild like taco sauce. He couldn't. What? That boy would have been crying if Cannabis came at him with some of them. Man, wow. And you know, oh, that's where I would have loved to see the beef. Nah, two rappers that think they too pretty. LL Cool J versus Drake. but LL would have burned him down. LL would have burnt him down like a abandoned building. Just because back then he was ugly when he about to scold you for real. When he about to burn you, you will be burnt. It will be third degree burns all over your lyrics. You understand? Third degree. Your chances of survival after a good LL scorching is slim to none. So let's not get it twisted. But they was both like the pretty boy rapper kind of dudes, you know. They'll sing you a love ballad and then, burn you with some bars. Yeah, LL still got some bars. Yeah, he do. So I'm not gonna get in that. We'll be here another 50. That's Big Rooster Show. Everybody go over to Big Rooster because that's what Big Rooster do. Y'all want to hear some good stories like this and some beefs and hear some good music? Go over to Big Rooster channel. Big Rooster right here, Big Rooster Show. Go over to his channel, check him out, cause that's what he do. Y'all want to hear about stories about the music industry, and he a DJ himself. Go over there and talk to my man's. He'll get you together. Trust, I'm not the one. It's not my expertise. I've done my share, but it's far from my expertise. He's a real DJ. So go talk to that man right there. I'm gonna let y'all go. Cause I ain't gonna lie to you. I got doo-doo. I ain't gonna play. What time is 1:30? I shouldn't. Yeah, I need to go earn this. I've been kind of locked up like Akon all day. I don't know what it was. Maybe I'm dehydrated, but now it's starting to run through. But I know that's too much information for y'all. Listen, thank you everybody for hanging out with me tonight. You don't know how much this meant to me. Y'all don't know. All right. Hey, TLC in the garden. What's up, my sister? All right, Katina Brooks. Big Rooster Show in the house. Man, Big Rooster, man. Thank you for hanging out with me, man. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Everybody enjoy yourself. I mean that. And I'm going to even say this, and I'm going to even take steps myself to try to make this world a better place. I'm gonna have to just do whatever I gotta do. We are not gonna make it by ourselves. We're not gonna make it by ourselves. That being said, everybody enjoy yourself. It's time to start burying some hatchets, letting bygones be bygones, and rekindling with some loved ones and build up your team. Get your squad together. Find your folks. Because we ain't gonna be able to do this by ourselves. Look, they snatching people up in the street because they by themselves. Everybody, enjoy yourself. Leah Farmer 73, I love y'all. Thank you. And I'm out. Peace.